नमः सर्वेभ्यः। हरि ओम्। अद्वैतचिन्तनवर्गे सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः। वंशी भगिनी शान्तिमन्त्रम्।
आं महोदय। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम गुरुभ्यो नमः।
धन्यवादः भगिनी। श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्। We have now completed the first sloka of Vandana sloka plus Vidyaranya Muni's Vandana slokas of Deepika. Now we are in the first paragraph of Vidyaranya Muni's Upadgadam or introduction or the preface to the Deepika for the rest of the slokas. Now before we start today's class, last class we had to stop because of want of time and there were questions which were pending from all of you. So I thought I'll clarify that before we proceed with the rest of the class today. What were the questions which were pending?
Mahodaya, Shobha Bhagini had a question. We were started on that, but we had to stop it mid between. I think she's there. You can ask. She can ask the question once again.
Shobha Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya. Namaste Sarvebhya.
Namaste.
We were talking about at the time of death, Mahodaya, how the soul leaves, and it was about the Chaitanya, what transformation happens there in that regard.
Okay. Now there are two processes which we have to keep it in mind and understand it clearly. One is from our Vyavaharika Tattva Chintanam, and then there is Paramartha Avastha. So these two are not to be confused when it comes to body, Chaitanyam, leaving and all those matters which we are related to or to the Vyavaharika Tattva. What they call it as Paramartha Tattvam, Vyavahara Tattvam. Right? Because Vyavahara is something which we cannot deny it. But whether there is Satyatvam in it or not, what is the truth behind it is what is Advaita Chinta Paddhati is all about. Now, from looking from the Vyavahara point of view, we have to accept that we are having a body, whether we call we as a body or we are living in the body. So if we are living in the body, there is something called Chaitanyam or Tattvam inside the body, which will be transmigrating or Punarjanma for the rest of the transmissions from one stage to another stage until the take birth. Now for all these things, we have only one pramana, pramakaranam pramanam, that is from which we have the proper knowledge. Now what gives us the proper knowledge is we have to depend upon somebody who has come back to life and tell this is exactly what happened after my death, and what happened to my soul, what happened to my body. I could see it, all those things which somebody comes and, but there is no way we can verify that aspect. Even if somebody comes and, it cannot be scientifically proven or even tested by somebody, because the other person who takes for a testing his own life may not be able to come back and explain it. So from that point of view, we cannot depend upon that statement of a person. There are a lot of stories which are there in the out of the body experience and rebirth, people recalling some of the experiences from life. How this is happening is still a mystery for science, and for our pramana, next pramana is Shruti in the Vedas and the Upanishads. For the practical person who is so much depending upon the Vyavahara and who thinks the Vyavahara is Satya, for his benefit, the Shruti deals with this aspect of death and transmigration. What it is there in Brihadaranya Upanishad, the detailed discussion between Janaka and Yajnavalkya, and he even explains what is the experience of a person at the time of death. Now he says that a person, when he dies, his soul, when trying to detach from the body, makes the sound like a cracking of a wooden wheel on a cart. That type of a sound which is not heard outside. Of course, this is a way of poetic explanation or dramatic explanation of that process. But what Taittiriya Upanishad or the other Upanishad which deals with it, Chandogya also says, is that the Jivatma, which is residing in the Sharira, which is an Upati, with the prana and mana. Mana means not the memory part. Memory part is in the body. But there is something called samskara or vasanas, which is part of the what you call subconscious mind, where the memory of events are not there, but the qualities of experiences and desires of the experiences are carried away through the medium is prana, and prana travels through one of the holes of the body, either eyes, nose, mouth, or skin, or any of the pores in the body, or some. One example is on the tip of the skull. Now this Jivatma, which is engulfed in the prana and the mana, goes upward, not upward physically but status wise, to Pitraloka and Chandraloka, no, Pitraloka and Vayuloka, Prithiloka. Then it deviates into two separate routes. Those who have done Punya Karma and Punyadikyam, whichever is there, they go to the Chandradi Marga, where it go to Suryaloka and then Chandraloka. So you can imagine when they say Suryaloka and then Chandraloka, they are not talking about the physical sun and the moon. It is given those names by the rishis. Those who are Papadikyam, or those who have got lesser Punyadikyam, they go to the Archiradi Marga, that is through the fire route, or they go to the Pitraloka, and they remain as Pitrus till the Punya or papa, what they have gained, which can be consumed at that loka, because there are every action which we do here has got its own planes of experiences. Now that is why the plane of experience, sometimes the dream is one plane of experience, deep sleep is another plane of experience, waking is another plane of experience. Then beyond that there is a mixture of all the three, and so there are totally 9 states of experiences while living itself. Same way, when the body goes, when the Jivatma goes with the vasanas and this thing, Jivatma is only a power house inside. It doesn't go through any of the experiences. It's only a witness to the experiences. But the prana and the mana, which has got these experiences embedded in them, when they go to the Pitraloka, they experience what is the good or the bad, what can be consumed in that loka. What is to be consumed in the Vayu Loka, they will consume there. What to go to Pitru Loka, they will consume there. Then Archiradi Loka is there, that they will consume. And Chine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. They, after that, whatever they have, because they are supposed, these subtle planes of existence are supposed to be better than what we are facing in the world, but there is no what we call fresh karma being generated when they live in those planes, these souls. It is a what you call bhoga bhumi, what they call it as, only for experiencing it. And when it is shene, when it is get consumed, martilogam vishanti. Now while martilogam vishanti, it is again poetical when they explain it, is that the lightning, the thunder, the rain, it comes down through the water, and it is getting consumed by the plants and animals. And when that is being consumed, that is being taken into the Pitru Sharira and Matra Sharira as food. And then when the male and the female copulate, then the new life is taken shape in the womb, based on, at that time, that the womb selects the parentage based on what is the left out vasanas for it to consume or exhaust. So if the vasana is not to do more good deeds, then Srivatam Gehe Yoga Prashto Vijayate, in the Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, no? So they will take in birth in a better environment. If their desire is to physical pleasures, they will take birth in such environment. And then there are some things where they live for many time, duration of time, and it cannot be measured in human lifetime, as Andajam, Svedajam. There are different type of lives which are available, like, which are born out of eggs, which are born out of sweat, or the Kida Makoda, which gets born inside the grains, sometimes as worms in the grass and the trees. Different explanations are being there. These are all poetic explanations in the Veda itself. Now those who believe that there is truth in it will believe it, but there are the other type of people are there who have done extremely good punya karma. They who do not go to the Archiradi Marga, they go to the Chandradi Marga, where they go to the Surya Loka, Chandra Loka, and they can go up to Brihaspati Loka. They can even become a Brihaspati or a Brahma, who becomes a progenitor for Srishtikarta for lives or after the Pralaya. So Kalpa, Pralaya, all those different stories are there in all these things. Bhagavad also talks about, Vishnu Purana also talks about it. Even Upanishad talks about it. Now, while this is being told on one side, the other side, the same Upanishad says that Ajo Nitya Shashwatoyam Puranaha Na Hanyade Hanyamane Sharire. It is Ajaha. Ajaha is the Atma. Atma is not taking life. It is only the prana and the mana which is taking life, as per the explanation of the rebirth. But yet that which is sarvagatam, that is sukshmam, achakshutshotram apanipadam, which doesn't have eyes or the legs or anything, for that there and avikari, it doesn't have a vikaram, and it cannot be undivided. In such a case, all these stories are for people who look for those answers as real. For their satisfaction, these stories are there. But the truth, what is that it is just like when you are dreaming, how you create your own life or the world with a different time scale and space, and causation, relationship, colors, experiences. Without these endriyas which we have it in the waking, without that we are having sensations and experiences in the dream world. These stories also are talking about such experiences only. But if you think that dream is not real, then these experiences which are being told about the Archiradi Marga or Chandradi Marga also dream like, Swapnavat. This is what it is on rebirth, what the Upanishad says. Any questions? Shobha, clear? Yes, Vamsi.
There was another question also, like once the Atma leaves the body, you call it, there Chaitanya in it or is there no Chaitanya? I think that was also a discussion point with Shobha Bhagini also, we were discussing about it. I guess not, Bhagini?
Correct. Yeah, Mahodaya, what you explained, that was very good, but I mean, I understand the overall picture of none of this, like you said, if we think it is real, it is real. But because it is mentioned in the Shastras, I am curious to know what it's saying. So that's why I was asking. And like Omshi Sudha Bhagini was saying just now, that process of the prana leaving the body, and I know that just the mukhya prana goes and then the rest of them stay behind. But if this is not the right time to discuss those things, that's okay. It will come later, I think. So
yes,
we can talk about it at that time.
Right, that will be better, because in the sense that here only giving the preamble of how the creation takes place. It is that Atma, Paramatma, which is Sachidananda Swarupaha, Ubaditvena Ishvara Jiva iti twofold formation it takes place. Now when it says Ishvara and Jiva is standing for Jiva as well as Jagat, because Jiva is part of the Jagat. Now Ishvara and Jiva is Dvita. There is a Shuddha aspect and Ashuddha aspect for both Ishvara and Jiva, not the Paramatma. Do not confuse between Paramatma and Ishvara. Paramatma, when takes an Upadhi, it is called Ishvara. That is Nirguna Brahma and Saguna Brahma. Now Saguna Brahma, then the question will come, how can be Nirguna become Saguna? Now, how can the water, which is ocean, become wave without losing the wateriness in it? Is only an appearance from the ocean itself as a wave. Right? Same way, the Paramatma in reality do not go through the change, but the experience when you identify with an Upadhi, it will have a what you call Ishvara Rupa, who is a Srishti Sthiti Laya Karta. And his Srishti Sthiti Laya is Jagat, in which Jiva is also part. Now, without an Upadana Karanam, see, for example, a Kumbhakara or a potter, when he wants to make a pot, he needs objects for that. He is a creator of the pot, no doubt. But for him, he needs mud, he needs the wheel, he needs the rod to rotate it, he needs fire, he needs water, he needs a donkey to bring the mud from a right place. All sorts of activities are involved in the potter's creation. But when there is only one, ekam, tat bahuta vadanti, it itself is being told as a many, is because of upadhitvena. Now upadhi is when you have a different upadhi other than it, then you call it as I write with a pen. The pen is an upadhi for me to write. Or I see with my eyes, then my eyes or the eyeball is an upadhi. But for an Ishvara, when he or Paramatma, when he itself has become Saguna, how can he create something which is apart from him when there is nothing apart from him? So that is the word, that is the time Maya. Maya is nothing but his own aspect for creation. In the Rig Veda it says, so kamayata bahusyam prajayeti. He thought that let me become many, and he became many. That's what the Upanishad says. So how did it happen? The only way we can relate it to that, when in a dream I thought let me become many, and I became the road, the horse, the chariot, the flower, the other persons in my dream, the elephant, everything. Did all of them I create by somebody else, or from my mind I created? I didn't create it, my mind created it. Because the moment we say I created, there is a confusion. I am not there in the dream. There is a different I in the dream. The waker is not there in the dream. So the waker cannot say I created the dream objects and everything. The same way, Ishvara, when he creates for the explanation of creation, Maya is being used as just as how the same individual using his mental capability to create objects and experiences in the dream, Ishvara using his own Maya, like a dream, has created the Jiva and Jagat. So that is where the creation is explained for the process of explaining. Because when I am experiencing something, the Shruti cannot say my experience is wrong. No, then I will not accept my Shruti. It has to match with my experiences and take through my experience to say what I experience is true, but there is no reality in it. It is only it's a feeling or an experience which you are not having as a permanent one. So for explaining that, the Maya principle is introduced into the Advaita. Only in Advaita they use the term Maya for creation. Because for others there is no need of Maya, because the Ishvara is separate and the Jagat is separate. So Ishvara as a creator stands separate and creates in Vishishta Advaita and Dvaita and all. Did you understand what I explained it, or this?
One question there. Yeah. So the difference between the Maya and the Upadhi. Upadhi, as I am understanding it, it is an instrument through which the Jagat comes into sort of existence, or seeming apparent existence, not real. So the Maya, that is the power of Brahman, our true nature.
Right.
And but Upadhi is the instrument. Is that the right understanding? Maya is the power to see what is not there, and then upadhi becomes the instrument in the particulars.
No, that is why to explain the inexplicable, we need to give a term for it. Now, for example, you might have seen magic shows happening, everything. Now, the real magic shows which are happening today in the present world are mostly of science-based. They are using a lot of scientific methods to create illusion. But there used to be, and even in the recent past, as in the late 19th century, in the early 20th century, people who knew Indrajalam, where they will throw a rope onto the sky and they will climb up through the rope to the go. You will hear a lot of clash of swords and everything, dead bodies and chopped bodies falling down onto the stage. And finally, from one of the dead body, the one who was showing the magic wakes up, and that has what you call that hallucination which he had created, he pulls it back so that there won't be even the rope or the bodies on the stage for the people to see it. He will be standing all by himself. So mesmerizing is the process through which they do that. But today, that technique has been lost mostly. I don't know if somebody is still doing it. I heard that PC Sarkar in Calcutta is one of the person who can still do that. I have not heard about it. Even though I've seen one of his shows. That's a different issue altogether. So when Ishvara creates this one like Indrajalam, he is creating not from anywhere else. He doesn't have any equipments required, because if in the real magic show, they need a curtain, they need a table, they need so many gadgets to show that. But for an old day Indrajala, they don't have anything to show. They just mesmerize the audience and send the feeling of experience, like how you dream in our dream. They are able to control your mind and create your experiences. That is how the old Indrajala methodology took place. So what the methodology Maya, when we use it in Advaita, it is his own power. The Ishvara uses his own power of creation for Maya, and because he is creating from himself the Maya and using it, part of the Maya comes as part of that to all those created also, because it cannot be different from him. So that part which lies with us is called avidya, and that is the avidya which creates the dream in us, or even the illusion of mistaking a snake for a rope, or all those illusions which are happening in our day-to-day life, that we are stationary on a flat earth. Even though Earth is rotating at 1840 kilometers per hour, we don't feel that rotational speed. And same way, day and night is because of the feeling of the rotation of the sun and the revolution of the Earth, and we have a day and night experience. But in reality, the sun never stops shining. So all those illusions which we are saying is part of the avidya. So there is no something separate from the upadana or the thing. Like the potter needed mud. Ishvara didn't have Maya separate from him. It is part of his own power. And we too have that same power. Not the same enormity. Like a tsunami can be made by an ocean. But whereas a same ocean, and if you take in a cup, even though we may say a storm in a teacup, but that doesn't really mean it creates a storm, right? Even though the same ocean is with us. So that type of a differential power is there to our level to create our own ignorance, takes care of our own confusion and illusions in our day-to-day life.
So what does upadhi mean exactly?
Upati is general in the literal meaning is an instrument. Upadi is an instrument. Now the instrument user has to be different from the instrument in all cases, except when your personal experiences are concerned. External world, in the Jagat outside, you have the instrument different and the user where, and the one which is upon which the instrument is being applied is different. There is a tripudi there.
Okay.
But
I understand, Modaya.
Right. But for the individual, when you are talking about yourself as an individual, you don't need an external instrument. Do you need an external instrument to know your own happiness and sorrow inside your mind? Do you need it or no?
No, I understand what you're saying. I just was not clear about what I hear it all the time. Just wanted to know the difference between, or at least understand what it exactly means. So
yeah,
if we apply it to our own dream state,
right,
so that is like Maya. It is not real, but we have the power to create it. And then the Upadi is, how does it, like if you take the dream example,
no, that ignorance in the mind is the reason with which the mind is creating what is real for the dream world. As a dreamer, everything in the dream at the time of experience of the dream is 100% real. Nobody has ever said that I dreamt. You can even dream inside a dream. That's a different issue. But whatever experiences you are in the dream is real at the time of reality of the experience of dream. Only thing is that we don't have the knowledge of the waking in the dream. Otherwise, in the dream we would have said, I was in a different world of waking which is also unreal. Now I am in a real world which is dreaming.
Right. Yeah.
So the upadi there for the dream to be created is nothing other than the same power of the mind. The same mind in the waking which has the memory of the dream, not always, some part of the dream only is remembered, and that too those dreams which are lucid dreams. Deep dreams are never remembered. That is experienced, and it can be measured by external means today by rapid eye movement and other things which scientifically they measure it, and even alpha waves, beta waves, then theta waves and delta waves, they are able to measure your brain electric input from the brain's stimulation. And they are able to correlate between when it's a real sleep, when it's a dream sleep, and all those, light sleep, deep sleep, and all those different aspects of the experience. But they will not be able to experience what the experiencer is going through. They can only measure it what he is doing or what he is going through. Same way, so when he is going through that dream, where does that experience create? Who created it for him? When you come to Advaita, we call it as Swaprakasha. There is a Swaprakasha in the Jivatma, which is nothing other than the Paramatma. Jivatma Paramatma Tatu Tvam Asi. That is what you are. So when you know it, that Guru says that, or the Shastra says that Tad Tvam Asi, that Paramatma and Tum. Now Shvetaketu was told this by 9 times by his father Uddalaka in the Chandogya Upanishad. Then only he could understand what it was actually, what father is saying. Different examples he is talking about. like the metal to metal objects, mud to mud objects, even the tree, ashwatha tree in front of their kutia. He asked him to bring a seed, break it up. There are thousands of small, lesser than mustard seed particles inside that. And he rather says, even in that, there is life, or the jivatvam, because of which the tree comes out from each of the seeds. Just as a tree is giving out multiple seeds and everything, the same tattvam is giving out to multiple experiencing individual life. But can the seed be different from the tree? No. That tree and the seed is itself is the tree later also. Tadutvamasi, that same way the mud. If Paramatma has made multiple objects inside the world, or that the world and inside that, with his own Maya, there is no other upadana or other instrument with which he has made, then everything what you see is nothing but formation of from the same thing. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Just as the same ocean is creating clouds, rivers, brooks, ponds, waves, tsunami or whirlpool, everything. As the ocean or the water as a swarupa has at any point of time undergone any change? No, it has taken only a nama rupa. So vacharampanam vikaro namadeyam mrittikatyeva satyam is the example which is used in the Chandogya Upanishad. Same way, vakalampanam eva is this jagat. We are giving everything different names. The tree is different, the dog is different, my husband is different, my daughter or my wife is different. All those experiences, names and forms are given being by us or by the society, which we also accepted it and we are living with that. But in reality, everything is out of only one aspect is, which is they all exist. They all have a awareness in them and awareness in me, because of which I am able to be aware of them, or they are able to be aware of me. And if I take the awareness, what happens like in deep sleep, none of them exist. Their existence also is not that. So the existence and the awareness is a common factor on which everything is Odaprodam, today's morning Gita class. Sarvam Odaprodam is in that Akshara, Paramatma is being substratum for everything. Like the ocean is the substratum for the bubbles or the froth and the waves and the cloud, everything to come out. This is the way in which it is being explained in the Advaita. But don't compare with a practical experience from our Jagat, because it's a Vikriti, means already created. And you can't see the what you call the oneness in that multitude, unless you know the truth behind it. Only when you know the mud, you know that everything that is made of mud is what is called the pot, the chirag, or the the hundi, or the so many things, or the gold is the same as ornament, different ornaments. But if we are looking from the ornament point or the pot point of view, there are multitude. Forgetting, if you forget it, the mud is the common factor for all that, or the gold is the common factor for it. Same way, there is a common factor for all our experiences. That experiential common factor is what we call is Aparokshanubhuti, which we are going to logically study step by step.
अस्तु धन्यवादः महोदय.
I mean, it is not easy to accept what I am saying or understand what I am saying is as a blindfold, because it has to become your personal experience. Then only you will think. See, for example, let us take anything which we have studied in any experience we have gone through in our life. From childhood till this very moment, so many experiences have happened, but none of them are remaining with us, isn't it? They have come and gone as a fleeting experiences, but some of them remain. Why do they remain? Now, for example, Purushatvam or Stritvam, Manishutvam, or whether I am an Indian or an American or this thing, this all, even though it's all given to us by our name, shape, and conditions under which, nobody has to remind you, or you don't act like an animal, because you know that you are a human being. Same way, now, one example which I can tell, which can give you this thing, that you are looking for a result on your exam. On the old time, we used to have on the notice board the numbers pasted on the multiple pages. So you have to look for your roll number and the page number to see whether your number is and given that you are passed or not. Now suppose if one student when he was looking for, he doesn't see his number, and he had a doubt that he may or may not pass. So he started crying and standing on one side. When his friend comes and asks what happened to him, he said, "No, I lost. I have not been successful in passing my exam." So he said, "No, but I saw your number." Other say, "No, I didn't see it. I looked all through. No, I didn't see." Then that person takes him and shows him. Now, when he sees that his number is there in that sheet of past students, at any point of time, that knowledge that he has passed can be erased from his mind. It will remain till his death, or till as long as his memory is alive, without Alzheimer's or dementia. All this at that time, till his deathbed, he will know that I have passed out a graduate, or I passed out engineering, or a doctor, or whatever may be that. Why? Such experiences in our life, when we make it our personal experience, then it remains with us. But which are not made personal, but only transactional, like the food we eat every day, or the experiences of traveling to different places, or the experience we spend time with our friends or relatives or anything. Some of them may remain with us if we have a incident or a lasting memory from there to come. Otherwise, it won't remain in our memory. Why? Because we are not personalized it. In the technical term, swamshikaranam. Jnanasya swamshikaranatvad eva tasya avabodho jayate. Only when you internalize your learning, that becomes part and parcel of you. The student who passed became his part and parcel to his deathbed only because he internalized it immediately at the time when it was told. Same way, if a parent is told that here you have got a son or you have got a daughter, that knowledge that I have become a father or a mother, mother because she goes through the delivery means a different issue. For a father or a grandfather, I have become a grandfather or a grandmother. That knowledge, they don't have to go through the experience of becoming. That Shruti Vakyam from the reliable source makes them an internal experience that I have become a grandparent or a grandfather or a grandmother, and that will remain. It will not because they know that that has become my part and parcel of now. Same way, this knowledge, when it is really understood without any doubt, because there are three obstacles in that becoming part and parcel of us. It is all three put together is called Ajnana. But actually speaking, Ajnana has got three different aspects of it. One is ajnana, is total ignorance about it. Second one is samshaya. You may hear about it, about the Atma, Paramatma, Jivatma and all, but you are not clearly understood. So you have a samshayam for it. Whether it is these are all old, textbooks which are supposed to be ancient in nature. How can I believe it? I am more scientific and modern. I will not believe it. That is a samshaya. Then there are people who are willing to listen and understand. What happens to them is that viparya takes place. Viparya is viparita jnana. When you say you are a jivatma and paramatma, immediately they will think, okay, there is a jivatma, I am the jivatma, and there is Chaturbhuja, Chankradari, Jadadari, Chandrakaladhara, all as Parameshwara. That once he viparyam comes in, then it is difficult to erase it until he takes effort to erase that, or he has to undo it. Oh, what it is it? These Chaturbhuja or Chandrakaladhara or all are symbolic representation of that Paramatma which is being told by the Upanishad. If he understands, then the viparya gets corrected. For the asamshayalu, he takes effort to correct it, or he doesn't take an effort to correct it. Those who do not take thing, they will never believe in it. But those who take an effort to, even though this is ancient, something is so many people are studying it, let me also go and learn it and understand what it is and then study it. So to such people, there are people who have even abandoned their 5-digit, 6-digit salaries and have become sannyasis and monks to pursue this as a full-time thing. Why? Because they got convinced about this thing, and they want to learn and they want to propagate it. So such people are there. But ajnanis who have never heard about it will never know about it unless they are getting an opportunity to have there are so many knowledge or information available in the world. We are all ajnanis of some knowledge or the other. No, we cannot have all the knowledge. So that type of an ajnanam for this Shruti Vakyas also is there for many people who have never heard about Upanishad or Vedanta. So these three are to be conquered. The first one is to know about it. Second one is to come and study about it. Then you get into confusion, doubt, samshayam. Then samshayam sometimes can, not properly mananam, if you don't do the proper introspection yourself, because I told you, it has to become your personal experience, samshikaranam. So unless you do that and you start looking on a day-to-day basis your personal experience and try to find out what is that aspect which makes me. Until that time, either samshaya or viparya will be there with you. But once you know that, like I told you, you have become a grandfather or a grandmother and it becomes your personal experience, you cannot be taken away from out of that experience or the knowledge. Now here the experience and knowledge are the same. In Vedanta there is no difference between experience and knowledge. Because in all other system of Atmiyam, yoga or tantra or all those things, there is something which is experience, but that is not jnanam. That is an experience out of the, what you call taming of the body. But that will happen. I am not denying that is all false or anything, but they are not reaching the personalized experience of the knowledge of Advaita. That the Bhagavad Gita itself says that they are all either Adama or Madhyama Adhikaris, and who get either carried away by that practices itself. Vamshi Bhagini or Shobha, Lalita, Chandu, Chandani, Nayana, any questions?
No, Mahodaya. My only question was about Upadhi. we already read this because I came a little late?
No. This was last class, same thing.
Yes,
Okay.
one question more that.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, I believe it is Pran and Atma is different or same.
Yeah, prana and atma
how,
as yes, what is the question? They are different.
yeah, so they are different or same, and do they reside in a body at the same time, and do they leave a body at the same time?
Now it all, I told you, prana is the vital forces, but the director of the force is different from the forces. So Chaitanya or Chetana is the Atma, Jivatma, and Prana is the one Sharira level where it controls the mind and the intellect and everything. And then there lower level of Prana which is controlling the Sthula Sharira, Panchavayu, Prana, Apana, Udana, Vyana, Samana. This thing is second one. But that prana which you are saying, prana apana, by when you do your pranayama, is not the same prana which is referred as atma and prana which is leaving the body. Because vayu at sarvagatam, like vayu, even after the body is dead, there is air inside the body, isn't it? So it's the prana which is not leaving, is only thing that the lungs stops breathing. So that is why it is called prana, and prana with the subconscious mind is the one which is going for Chandradi Marga and Archiradi Marga.
Mahoday, you mean to say that prana, see, when a person dies, he says pranaha gataha, you people say that, right? Prana is gone.
Right. Yeah.
So what she asked is also right. Prana and atma, both of them are they intermixed with each other, or they are not? How do we define them?
Okay.
Are there?
Now when the fire goes, will the light go separate and the heat go separate?
No, everything is together, right?
Yeah, same way the prana and the atma is together all the time as far as the jivatma is concerned.
Oh, astu. But as you said, atma is the director force and prana is the vital force. So the variation happens only because you say pranayama, you don't say atma yama, you say pranayama, right? So
because prana has got 7 meanings in Sanskrit.
Oh, astu.
Prana is also called mind, prana is also called Brahma, prana is also called Chandra.
Okay.
And prana is also called the air we take inside, and the air we throw out is called apana.
Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, panchavayu.
Yeah, panchavayu. That is all panchavayu. It's pancha prana, sometimes they call it as pancha prana, panchavayu also the same. Both are the same. But the prana shariram tyaktva. When you say that, it is not the prana apana prana. It is that total prana which is the controlling power of all the 5 pranas. As long as that prana is there in the body, then only the body heat will be maintained by udana, vyana, okay. And then the perspiration and excretion takes by the udana, prana, apana, the breathing inside and breathing outside. And samana is the one which maintains all the bodily functions.
So you mean to say the prana which is attached to the atma is different from what the pancha pranas is there, right?
You cannot separate it out because It is functions wise, it has got different 5 fingers. Now you say when your hand, when you are this thing, you have got 5 fingers in it. When you say fist, when you say fist, you have got 5 fingers together, no?
Yes, true.
Same way, the Mukhya Prana or the Mahaprana is called the fist, and the Pancha Pranas are the 5 fingers, like the 5 pranas, which are operational level separated. But it is only because of the operational level that it is called different, but it is totally together as one energy.
Okay.
And it is the same energy which is also working as mind, Manas Shakti. Chinta Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Prana has got 2 aspects of main aspects. One is Chinta Shakti and other is Kriya Shakti. Now the Chinta Shakti is the internal brain, which is the Buddhi Ahankara Chittani, Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani, is one aspect of the Chinta Shakti. Now Kriya Shakti is through the Pancha Pranas, and which is the one which is moving the body, the limbs, the blood, the oxygen, the heat inside, even the Jardagni or excretions. All those things are controlled by the Kriya Shakti of the Prana. So when the Prana is leaving, means the engagement with the body is being withdrawn by that entity. So the mind stops functioning, the buddhi stops functioning, the ahankara stops functioning, the kriyas on the body stops functioning. Both the Chinta Shakti and the Kriya Shakti together goes out of the body, and that observer or the Sakshi which has been doing all that, where the Kriya Chinta Shakti or the body Shakti, anything, there is a Sakshi, no? The one who observes the body and Chinta. There is a knower behind all those things. That is called the Chaitanya or the Chidatma. Chidatma with the Prana is the one which is going through the transmigration. But that is for people who believe that there is transmigration and birth and rebirth and all those things. But a true Advaitin knows that these things are happening, but they are all like Swapnavat.
Yes.
Because that is what I said, shift we have to shift our identification with our bodily functions to the very entity in our body which is knowing everything. That shift of consciousness from the bodily functions to the knowing function is the one which is important for all of us. How to do that is what the Vedanta is teaching all about. There are different methods of it. Neti is one, Sarvam Khalidam Brahma. Then, what I told you, Avicharita Samsiddham. So, what is the Vichara to be done? Excuse me. So, all these things is the process. Different methods are there. Ananta Veda Bahuvetittavyam Alpascha Kala Bhavascha Vigna Yat Sarabhutam Tat Uvasitavyam Yada Hamso Shirandu Mishram. So there are many methods in which we can learn or practice this and achieve it, but since our time is short, we have to take only what is Sarabhutam, what is really meaningful to all of us. Chandu Mahodaya, you had some question?
No, you clarified last week itself.
Okay.
My question was about Suddha or Asuddha Bheda. Whether Jiva and Ishvara both are having a Suddhi. You said no, it's only Jiva and not the Ishvara.
Right. Yeah, Vamshi, you were asking something?
Yeah, I understand now. The prana has 2 jobs, basically, Chinta Shakti and Kriya Shakti. That solves the question, Basically, that's what they say. Even if you say pranayama, you do, your mind gets cooled and your body functions well. It's like a 2 job. It does 2 jobs. So
right.
It has, that answers my question. Thanks, Mahodaya.
Okay. Shobha, clear?
One more question about it.
Yes, Nayana.
Yeah, so prana is with Jivatma only. I'm asking because when enlightened soul may not be having, means when we have a birth and rebirth cycle, prana will be with us. Is it so? That means, is that so, or is it so different?
Now, when you are carrying a pot in your hand to buy milk or to bring water, is the space inside the pot going through the change? It is moving from one place to another place. So will you say the space has changed, or the space inside the pot is remaining the same, or there is no change in the space because space is everywhere? What will be your answer?
Space is everywhere. Space is everywhere.
Same way, the Paramatma is everywhere. When the prana identified with that spot of the Paramatma, we call Jivatma and Prana. Like the space inside the pot, the space, the knowing power of through that prana is called the Jivatma. The knowing power is there everywhere, or the Bodha Swarupam, Chit Sat Chit Ananda Swarupam is there everywhere. Sat is existence. Without existence there is nothing. Everything is existing. If it is not existing, it cannot be known, because knowledge is part of existence. Existence and knowledge are the same. So when we are aspecting, saying that the prana shakti, the shakti for the prana to know as chinta shakti and kriya shakti has to come from that knowing power of the Paramatma, which is identified at the spot. And what is the instrument we use it during the jivatvam or the jiva state is, it is through the mind, because chinta shakti can be only in the mind, not on our finger or on our body or the leg. Even though sensations are there, the indriyas are there, the indriyas feed their sensation to the mind, and the mind knows about it. So that chinta shakti is with the prana, and that is the thing. And now why do the chinta shakti is identified? Because that is the aspect of that instrument. Just as the aspect of the instrument of a bulb is to burn the current passing through that, or the aspect of the current passing through a fan is to rotate, or to a heating element to generate heat, same way the knowing power, if it is in the human mind and intellect, it is called the chinta shakti. If it is in an animal, it is called panchavayu, that its generation, it doesn't have the mind and intellect to differentiate between the good and bad, dharma adharma, chinta nasti. And if it is on a plant, it is to certain level, and if it is on a stone, it cannot exhibit, but it is not without that same Paramatma Tattvam in it, because existence is there, no? And it is exhibiting the knowledge of existence to us, for us to know that it exists, isn't it? So to narrow down Paramatma to Jivatma or to a soul inside the body is the limitation of the mind. Our Chinta Shakti is limiting ourselves from thinking large. So open up your mind, let the knowledge come to your mind, then you will realize what you have been restricting yourself to. Lalita Bhagini, any question?
No, Mahadaya, no questions.
Okay. Because we didn't move in even one page today. It's already 8:40 now. So today's class is only question answer session class for us. Otherwise, I thought of going 1 or 2 more pages. This one is another paragraph to be read. This we will take it up next class, I think. Otherwise, we won't be able to complete it.
Yes, Mahodaya. We already
So any questions further, or then in that case next class I don't think we need to have any question answer unless you want to think about these points which we have discussed and then you want to clarify some more thing. We can still have the question answer session in the beginning.
Mahodaya, can we, it's just my thought, can we do the reading first and then have the question and answers at the end of the class?
Well, I'm game for it, because I thought that previous class questions can be clarified before moving to the next class. That's what I thought it. But then next class what we'll do is we'll keep the question answer toward the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes. At least if we can cover some thing, otherwise I don't think we will be able to ever finish the text.
Yeah.
It is not the finishing of the text which is important.
Yes.
More important is to have the clarity of the teaching.
That's more important. Yeah, that's what
one thing which I know Vamshi. One thing which I know for sure is that all these questions will be there only in the beginning. Once it starts flowing through the step-by-step procedure, all these questions will get clarified.
Right, Mahodaya. So I think a lot of them will probably get answered as we keep reading. So
right.
My thought process on this is it's good to go ahead and start reading. Then as questions come up.
So from next class onwards, we will start the reading of it, and I in between some technical part comes, I can stop there, and you can, if you want to ask questions, you can ask.
Yeah, that's right, Mahodaya. As suggested by Shobha Bhagini, we'll take the last 10-15 minutes for the question answer, so that we are done at least for one sloka or one paragraph of the text also, so that we move ahead in the subject. That's more important. So we get to know more, a bit more. Or else it will always be a blank, questions keep coming up, So
that's right. But then there is another way which we can do, is that I take only the Mula slokas of the Shankaracharya's slokas. The Bhashya part I will study and use it for explaining the sloka, where I will not be able to asking you to go through the Deepika part of it. Which one is better for you, we'll have to decide that. But if you like to read the Deepika, then we'll have to go through the reading of the Deepika.
Yes, please go ahead, Mahodaya. The Deepika is more, it's more
explanatory.
Detailed. Yes, that's what I was. And it's more detailed.
No, sorry, Bhagini, go ahead.
No, I'm done, Bhagini. Yeah, please go.
Okay. Is it possible that we can read the shlokas and when explanation is needed, we can read Deepika also? Do you want to finish the Deepika first, Mahodaya, and then go to
Deepika is actually part and parcel of the sloka, because the sloka is cryptic in nature, very short explanation, but the technical terms of the sloka is clarified by the Deepika. That is why the Deepika is important.
Right. So should we do them together is what I was asking.
Yeah, we'll have to do it together for the better clarity of it.
Bring the shloka first and then the Deepika.
So both are complementary in that case.
Both are complementary with one. See, now what we are reading is actually the explanation of the Dhyana Shloka of Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaram Ishwaram. Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam. So that Karanatvam is being what is explained now. That one word Karanam is what this paragraph is all about.
Okay.
Because otherwise karanam means we will just think that okay, karanam, finished. But how does it become a karanam where there cannot be a karya, because karya karana vimukta is Paramatma. So how can he be a karanam? Right? So for that is what atra ayam prakriya is only for explaining that. It is only through prakriya it is called karanam, otherwise it is never a karanam. Because there is no karyam. Karyam vina karanam nasti. Karanam vina karyam nasti.
The jargon needs to be understood, Mahodaya, before we get into the text, because or else it will be illusion, a complete illusion.
Right. I see the reason why that jargon, I mean the technical terminologies are important in each this one is that there are a lot of misinformation and wrong information which is given by so many other prakarana granthas which were attributed to Shankaracharya but is not actually by Shankaracharya. It is by the subsequent Shankaracharyas who has written those slokas, and most of them were basically to answer to opposition he had during his time. For example, today Shankaracharya is being challenged by some questions. He gives a Vedartha Sabha. He will answer only the questions to which him is being questioned, isn't it? So he will, whatever he says becomes a kriti or a shloka or a prose, based on which the disciple will write down, and he will go through it and correct it and say yes, it's okay. That way the original, why I am saying is that having studied the original Shankara Bhashya of the 10 Upanishad, Brahma Sutra and Bhagavad Gita, the most closest one which I can feel which can be attributed to Shankaracharya are Aparokshanubhuti and Upadesha Sahasri. Even in Viveka Chudamani there are about 10 or 15 slokas where it is not except exactly what Shankara told in the Upanishad. He himself is, how can he contradict in his Viveka Chudamani? That is how the doubt comes, whether it is written by somebody else answering to some questions later which propped up. Okay, anything further? Chandu Mahodaya?
I think let's discuss with those explanatory slokas also along with it. It will be nice.
Okay, Mahodaya. Okay, Mahodaya. Lalita Bhagini, nothing? Or you were saying something in between?
No, nothing. I just said both are complementary. The Deepika right. And the...
Yes. Yes, you are right. Absolutely complementary because the terms of sloka is explained through the Deepika only.
Yes.
Chandri Bhagini?
So far so good, Mahodaya. Thank you.
Astu Mahani. So we will stop it today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadah sarvebhyah.
Dhanyavadah.